Call order July 13th, 2004 meeting, Town Hall in Bellmont. 32. Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's have roll call, please.
Linda Johnson. Here. Vicky Smith. Here. Christina Christenberry. Here. Tracy Kimmel. Here. Peggy Thompson. Here. And Gary Wentz.
Here.
Visitors. And visitors.
Anything just that the building is present.
Leon Raver. Don King.
Linda Lowry.
David King.
Amber King. Amber King. Yeah. I was going to say Felix. Good job. David King. Amber King.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we don't have to write any more. So we'll just say that's it. All right. Okay.
Any public comments?
Yep, I got some.
Name? Who is it?
John King.
Don King. 5 minutes, John.
On that Amber time, since some people can't tell time, we've had our freedom of speech eroded several times. Now, since I was a board member, really didn't get to talk about nothing without being cut off. And I will not be cut off during my 5 minutes this time. I expect no answers. Start? Thank you. Alright, as you already know, the mayor filed stalking orders against us as mayor. You guys are a new board, and I think y'all hold him accountable for violating our rights as a mayor under the Illinois Citizens Participation Act as a government. Now, I've already seen your Facebook comments, I've already seen your bias comments and everything on Facebook. He's a tyrant, and I think he needs to resign immediately. We can find better leaders in this town than him. And even myself. Well, let's see. The other thing is, about the file cabinet. I don't care where you got the file cabinet. I don't care how much you paid for it. I know I was in it. I've seen it myself. I stopped in here at City Hall. I asked for documents. It wasn't here. The treasurer, Christina, at the time, said they were at Linda's house and her house. And I asked for a copy from her. I still didn't get the original copy. May 12th minutes was one of the copies I asked for. And of her resignations. Well, let's see here. And I think I've been denied as a trustee. It says May 12th. Said letter was read aloud and passed along trustees initialed by all present, LJ, JK, LR, and me. And that's not the copy I received. I want the copy as a trustee with my initials on it. My initials, my bond, your signature is your word on any document you sign. And there's no initials on any of these papers I requested. Another thing, you trustees need to start looking into stuff your own, not just taking one trustee's word for it. I worked hard on that baseball field as a little kid. I kept finding $45 come out of it when I joined the board. I had to go to the bank to get an answer. That is sad. As a trustee, you have every right to look in that trustee and treasurer book. No questions asked by law. Also, I asked for a paper and a volunteer list that they said they'd give me. I've sent emails, I've called City Hall. I've had no response whatsoever from that. I kept on getting denied every time I talked as a trustee. John asked for copies of that list. Next time it comes out, Christina said she would give it to him in the list the Illinois Municipal League asked for. I called the Municipal League. I know it should be there somewhere. These FOIA requests. I know you're new, and it's okay. I understand. I'll work with you. I called Amber herself over the lights and the bills I requested as a trustee, and you can get that for me. You have the number of the account, the full name on the account, which should be Bellmont Village. And I'm still waiting on them. There should be no denying right there or going around it. Let's see what I got over here. How much time I got left? Okay. I've sent emails to Christina. I've called City Hall, left messages. I requested as a trustee during public board meetings to see the cameras of City Hall. I had no response whatsoever. I got stonewalled once again. I also requested to see the stickers of the four-wheelers. No response whatsoever. I was denied my job as a trustee. Cannot look in the treasurer books. Not do anything. Park trash up there. Somebody dumped a bunch of trash in the dumpster. Violators will be prosecuted. A sign right beside it. And I know whose stuff it is. And I got it recording, so you better call them and tell them to pick it up.
Do you care to share?
Yeah. That's Burbrick's right over there. And it's all by his campers and stuff out back. They got bed mattresses up there. All kinds of crap just laying around. Got something in our contract that the Republic does not pick up. And he needs to be called before the sheriff is called because my park is not going to shit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much time I got left? Got 10 seconds?
Not very long.
Don't interrupt my freedom of speech. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, a while back I asked about when the
Thank-
contract, Linda Lowry. Thank you. You're welcome. When the contract for the trash service was going to be up for renewal, because we had talked about it before we decided that there could be public comment on that as well. So we can get it, I don't want to see us wait till the last minute and none of the public know. Because I think we need to look at our big trash service. Because that may not be working out too well. I think other people wanted dumpsters. You know, even if we don't get that, they still have the right to be able to say they want that. So we need to get together and figure out something. And if we're still having trouble with people burning things, then maybe we need to have a dumpster more than twice a year. Because it was last week I had to call the sheriff's department because the people on the curb there where the bus stop used to be, it's a rental place. And they took that big swimming pool they had out there and they were burning it. And that's not right. It's illegal and it's very toxic for the people that live around here. And maybe we need to look into seeing if the rental properties, if they can get a copy of some sort of like that letter that you sent around a couple years ago, stating the things in our town, you know, so they know when they move in that they're not supposed to do this, this, and this. But we need to put an end to that burning because there's no sense in that. They could have stuffed that pool in that shed building. You had the next people or whoever owns it stick it out there where the trash service came. For the big trash service. There's no sense in burning stuff like that. You know, and I've been trying for years to get people to stop. It's not for me, it's for all of us. Especially the elderly, it affects us the worst, and the little kids. That was last year or so they were burning insulation up here. You know, and that, we can't let that all get started. It quit pretty good for a while, but I wanted to get started again. And also, have you looked into anything about the park? Doing any improvements and getting any grants for it? Because I know a few months back you said that Martha was working on some grants, the grant finders or something. But I think that was through the municipal league if I was looking at the right website.
What kind of grants were you looking at?
Like stuff for improvements on the park.
Like
I'm
what
actually
equipment?
gonna talk to Joe Judge because he is doing new park, equipment for
I thought about that.
Mount Carmel, so I will get with him this week and talk to him to see if he could direct us in the right direction. I know that they have, is the Lions Club that's gonna help do a fundraiser with them, so.
Yeah, maybe we could do something like that here, you know. I'd like to see a bunch of us get together and start a community group. Because a lot of things the town can't do, but as a community group, we can sponsor them. But if we don't have a community group,
Right. Like you say, we can't do it,
Right.
but you all are more than welcome to do that.
and I think that's all.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Dave King. Okay. We got stuff in town here we need to look at. Got the sewer clogged up here. Been that way for 3 months. You just try to flush it out. You need to notify people when you get to flushing so they don't blow the commodes off. And on top of that, the mosquitoes are thousands of them down there. 3 months of mosquitoes. I mean, you can't even see the water for the mosquitoes. Do something about it. And on top of that, you ain't even got it marked. You got to skid over it with a lid on it. My grandkids are down there. Mark it. It's a safety hazard. Either that or put the lid back on. This is what it looks like. 3 months of it. Ain't that nice? Shit, piss, down there, kids playing in it. Hey, it's shit. It's what it was
Jay,
in.
can you watch
It's
your
a
mouth,
sewer.
please?
Don't interrupt.
Watch your language.
Don't interrupt his freedom of speech.
Where did it come from? We're
I'm
not-
telling you how it is.
There is a small kid in
I'm
here.
telling you how it is. Then on top of that, you're wanting to repair the tractor. Okay? The mayor down here, he tears it up. Now I guess we're going to turn around, taxpayers pay for it. Went down there and cut a tree, tried to lift it, made a pin in it. Tried to clean sidewalks with it. But I guess taxpayers are going to take care of that. You know, there's stuff going on in town here you wouldn't believe. Everything's under the rug. We don't want to talk, it's a little town. No, it's taxpayers' money, any way you look at it. I don't care if it's big town, little town, or any size town. But just like that sewer, 3 months of it, come on now. Now I guess we're going to figure out how to fix it. Only one clog up, what about the rest of town? You just could go down there and fix that mosquito problem in about a half hour probably. But you just don't even worry about it. But no, if somebody gets bit by a mosquito, something like that, that's okay. My grandkids get in it, I'm suing the town. I'll tell you that right now. You just don't want to think nothing about it, but you better start thinking about it. And I like to know why these streets got double rocked. These streets up here got rocked twice. Peggy Street, where's that at? I know where Railroad Street's at, all these other streets at, and all of a sudden Peggy Street. I didn't know we had a Peggy Street.
Talking about my street, sir?
Oh, Peggy Street, I don't know where Peggy Street's at, got rocked.
I live on Persimmon.
Yeah.
Not you, man. Not you.
No?
You know, there's streets in town needed it. Behind the fire department, never gets touched. We done a street up here 3 times. 3 or 4 times, over and over and over. Our taxpayer money. We ain't worried about it, we got plenty of money. That's how this board thinks. As long as you got money, you want to spend it. but you don't stop long enough to think about how to do it right. Or look into it. You just do it over and over. Did you go, you're wanting to put rock on the park? You better go down there and look, see where the water's running. It ain't going in the ditch. It's coming all the way around the park road and washing it all off. And it's soft. And as soon as you put it on there, we had a guy with a little tractor go down there and blade it all the way up. That's real smart as soon as you put rock on. See, you just don't think. And then we got the water tower rusting. We got wells that ain't been looked at in years. Then we got the sewers out here. The flipper valve's broke. We're dumping the raw sewage in the ditch. How are we dumping it? Well, flipper valve's broke. We never bring it to a meeting. We're just going to hide it until the next problem. We got sewer problems. We got water problems. We got everything in this town. And we're going to buy a parking lot. And make a parking lot out of taxpayers' money. A grant. No, it's unreal. You know, I can sit here and go on and nothing gets done. You know, you got a mosquito pool up there and nobody's done nothing to it. Sewer's 3 months, nobody's done nothing to it. Nobody's done nothing. And it just gets sicker and sicker. I'm done.
Good. I got something. May I speak? My name's Leon Ray.
Timer.
Yeah, this won't take long. You're wrong about rock 3 times on one street. You're wrong about that. And as far as the fire department's concerned, we done Howder Street last year. Last year.
Last year.
Lived down there in front of the fire department. We done that last year.
October.
Yes.
Around in there.
Yes. And the street this time, we started up there and done past the fire department this time.
How long are we going to chip and seal? We just keep building it up.
Well, how you want to do it?
Can't you pave it?
You gotta be kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Well, I'm telling
You
you right
spend
now.
enough money now
it's
to
my
pave.
turn. It's my turn and you're shooting your mouth off. You let me talk. It's my 5 minutes. And I want to tell you right now, you cannot pave this town.
Then you need to address the board, not him.
I'm done. I'm done. You need to run for the board.
Anybody else need to say anything?
Speaking of mosquitoes, we're having mosquito problems all over this town because of so much junk sitting around. Holding water, all those junk cars, and all that stuff in 2 different locations. That's what's hurting, making mosquitoes so bad. You can't have standing water, that's what breeds mosquitoes. And all that junk sitting around holds water, and ergo mosquitoes. But we're going to worry about one person's couch sitting out in the road when the rest of their yard looks nice. That's a comparison.
You mentioned that a couple of board
That's
meetings, I'm not clear.
the end of public comment.
You
Need a
don't want to
motion
got one of
to
them?
approve that.
We got an ordinance.
See, that's what's wrong with this town.
Speak up, we can't hear you back here.
We were discussing how to address, like, how we address these problems, how that we can talk to you guys. That was our true process.
That's a good, we always try to take into consideration anything that you have to say. That's how we stay informed.
Well, you took the limb off the agenda last time.
The limb was on the agenda.
And then it was taken off because you
In a
guys went
special,
to the
in
board
a
meeting.
special meeting, you can only talk about what's on the agenda.
Then why was it taken off the original agenda? You could have talked
Well,
about it during
because
the
the
special
person
one.
that asked for it to be on the agenda was not present.
How would you know that
Because
before
you
you
were
took it
getting
off?
married, unfortunately. But I'm
Why?
saying it is definitely.
So you were worried about our
marriage.
marriage, so you took it off the agenda.
Hold the phone
It
now.
was a special meeting. Only what needed to be talked to had to be talked about that night.
Well, what-
Do you see what I'm saying?
So, should it be
Yeah, I
back
see
on
what
the
you're
agenda?
It is on the agenda.
It should have remained on the agenda for the special meeting. You could have talked about it during the
No,
special
I'm
meeting.
sorry, you're right, sir. The floor is
If-
closed.
if he's here.
Corresponding. Sorry.
Well, it's not now.
Because we're
We already have it.
probably why they wasn't here at the regular meeting, so. Had to wait till we got married.
Need a motion to approve past meeting minutes, please.
I can't hear you.
I need a motion to
Oh, for past
approve
meeting.
past meeting minutes.
So what is the special
The
meeting?
special meeting minutes.
All first,
Second.
and then this is your part, you say all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Oh, I did. Oh, okay. Oh, no. What did I do? Oh, this is the, yeah. Let him like anything else. Thank you. Yeah, get back to me.
You got the water report, thank you.
Yeah, he said levels were good.
What's the sewer pits reports? Supposed to have them every month.
He writes that down on a paper and it gets turned into
Then the city should have it too.
maintaining its levels, what he says, so.
Yeah, the bills are still due. So
I
if
just
you,
did water report, old business.
all right. The motor fuel tax resolution.
I'm not thinking.
Okay, guys, on the motor fuel tax resolution.
Oh, okay.
It is, you weren't here last spring. We had a $2,400 job that was done in addition to what was approved at the time of doing it, and this now the paperwork to me to process. So that's what I have here, you guys can read that. It shows the overall amount that was spent last year was $10,000, we also have our monthly, the end of the year statement is there also, that was $10,000 for monthly tax on the roads last year. And then the 2,400, resolution. And I think I explained to you all last time when we did, because we did a motor fuel resolution the time before for this year. And so that's what that is about. And so after we review that, we'll take a motion to approve that, and then we'll go back to the agenda.
So do you need a motion on that?
Give them a chance to what I said. I think they do because we talked about it last time.
Are these both the same?
One is a estimate, not estimate, a maintenance. At the end of the year, they give you a maintenance that tells you what all was spent last year.
Okay.
And the other one is the motor fuel tax that was spent. And the additional one, is it the first one you see?
Yes.
Today? Alright. Oh, yeah, here. And so this is the one that the bureau we signed and then Melvin tapped in, and that's the 2,400. The other one is the overall statement from last year. And the this is how we lined it up, that's what it says there. This is the one that gets signed and goes back, it's the same. So, we'll go ahead and, now you can go ahead and entertain a motion. This is one that we did in the and send it back.
Here you go.
Remainder of that. And so we'll just hold on. We'll move to, first one I have to do is my sticker on. Okay. So on that motor tax that just went around, we need a motion to approve by the first and the second. All in favor? All first? Okay. Thank you, Rose. Vicki first. Christina? Christina's coming, right?
There was.
I did spell it wrong. Is that right?
It's okay,
Everybody does.
Okay.
R-Y-S-T.
S-T?
Yeah,
I missed that too.
I just need to wear my badge in from work, so you guys can just cheat.
All in favor?
Roll over.
Sorry, I didn't
Spell it. All in favor? Aye.
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 On business, COVID, here's the COVID release reimbursement update. We've been working on that some time. I was hesitant, when
I can't hear you over here.
The COVID relief, it's called the CARE program, COVID relief reimbursement. It's from March, I think I explained this to you guys last week, or last time, March to December. They have extended that. First they extended how long before you had to turn it in, and now they've actually extended the coverage until December of this year. So any other expenses that we may come into that are covered on that will be submitted. The village is allotted for $11,300. I don't know that we have enough expense to be able to get all of that, because it does have, it's got a curriculum that you have to follow under. And the best that I can do is just submit our receipts and see what they do with us. And as that comes to us, we will let you guys know. Okay, so that's about. We have the budget.
That's on your business.
Oh, we're not there yet, I'm sorry.
All roof, city hall roof, man.
Oh, am I on that still?
Yes, and listen to vote.
Okay. You all have the estimates presented to you. If you'd like to see the written folder here, I do want to point out on the estimate that you received that Spirit Construction on their metal roof, the amount was a little bit higher than their original, and so I surely thought they were including what they had done before. The interior roof, garage doors, and ceiling tiles, they were not. I received that bid today, it is here, and with the interior work, their bid went up to $71,000. Pretty well out of our ballpark. So Spear's toward the end of your page down there. So I'm going to take the liberty right now to know that you will add a second line. That pitch metal roof, do an arrow to the 49,000, and then the rest of it, do a line and say 71,356.12. So just, this here is just this part right here. And then the total, if they were to do all the work for us, was 71,356.12. And if you like, I can get another copy of that to you since,
I have mine at home.
okay,
It's sitting on my table.
that's the only
So
change.
that's just the roof dress. And that's everything.
And that's for here.
Yes.
Yes,
For
this,
this stuff too. Just this
Yeah.
yeah,
stuff.
well,
No,
and
and
the roof.
I mean,
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
but the extra is for this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, garage doors, garage door openers,
Door on that
3
side.
interior doors. This door here is not a fire safe door, and being a garage right there, we need a metal door here that we can also lock. There's a file closet here that needs to be locked, and then the interior door going to the secretary's office is also included in that. Garage door openers, lights. So,
And these aren't things our village worker can fix, like changing a food.
no.
No.
First you gotta buy the metal door too.
Yeah.
But what I found with the grant is the more that we could, the more that the grant would cover, then it was to our advantage to go ahead and add it if they would consider it. Now, if we were buying, like if we were gonna do one of these metal, or the pitch roof, where the door itself is $49,000, well then we couldn't consider anything interior. But because we are willing to look at the metal roof, we could possibly. And the TPO, as you see on your list here, is still a consideration for you all to tell me what you want when you take that vote. But that is there.
I think David Brown would be a real good person to go with.
John, this will be your part to write down.
Can I see the original estimates, please?
I'm gonna take out my paperwork, it's the grant application stuff, we'll take it to quarter for you. Because I'll write notes of everything I'm supposed to do and how, when, and how I account. Okay? And each one is written out pretty well in detail here for the review. And then, of course, I'll have the summary.
And like, do we know their rep, their reputation for what they do and how good they do? And
Well, we've inquired, we've heard good things on most of them. We've heard, every once in a while you always hear something not so negative. On Harms, I have not heard anything negative at all. On Mr. Brown, I've heard, yeah, and I've heard, oh no, he's great. So, we just have to go with our gut feeling on it, submit it to USDA. And if you know more about a rubber roof opposed to a metal roof, let's talk about it, let's hear it. So
Yep, I do.
I can tell you that the rubber roof we've got on it now, and going back and looking at records, it's just not good. We're canning time.
What about, is it ACI or ACL?
ACI, they are a company out of Albany, and they have done a lot of business. They're very commercial. I really got spooked when the guy called me back about it because it was a Florida number. And I'm like, how can you do local if you're giving me a Florida number?
Pretty sketch.
Yeah, and I'm like, is this one of those fly-by-night guys that come in and give me something that I run? But I did submit his bid, and it has been submitted to USD also. So USDA, look, they'll figure it out if it's something's not.
I mean, they're our lowest one with no interior, but I hear you say a city worker cannot replace the door, but what is the reason he cannot replace the door?
Our city worker is on light duty right now.
But he won't be forever.
No.
No,
Even
but
when we had the doors done here, they were done professionally. Yeah. And we're not gonna install a hollow door. I have hollow doors in my house, and that's not what we're talking about, a metal door.
it's like that.
Yes. So,
May I address her?
I don't guess I need this, Linda.
thank you.
I think that's maybe.
Mr.
Oh, that's supposed to be over here, huh?
Mr. King has worked for David Brown.
okay,
back
And
there.
he says that they're
He
very
said
good.
he's ripping them.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did miss that, Christina. The open
I
meeting was.
don't know any of them on the list, so I was just
That's fine, yeah,
curious.
that's okay. I advise you check him on yourself, your own
Yeah.
homework on it. I believe David Brown's very good. I used to have buddies that work for him,
I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Oh,
and he's
so
local.
at the open meeting,
Yeah.
that was the opportunity for the public to tell us their opinion about how and what they want done also. So, and then these estimates we've been working on for approximately 2 years. And I have handed them out in earlier meetings. I've mentioned you weren't here in those. So, do feel free to look, in that binder to see the written out information. And they are in order of your estimate page, so that you're easier to follow.
But it seems like you're getting a lot here with David Brown's
I agree.
compared with some of the others that are
I'm
a
looking
lot
at,
higher even.
I am comparing 2 of them, and it's different material. There's no, David does say roof ventilation. Another one doesn't.
And you notice that on Harms, and I believe on West too, there's last year's, and then they had to update. So I wrote that on their updated estimate, so you could tell just in the last year how the price went up on us. Now I was just recently told that the price is coming back down, but the fact that it went up 200%, it's only down 33%. You know, lumber is still really quite high. I was hoping that Mr. Spear would come through for us, that Keeper Lumber had talked with me and thought that might be something. They knew that they would have the specs, but Spear's out. He's just,
Linda,
yes.
I need to get a motion to approve the bills, please.
Okay, while you guys everybody's looked at the bills, I'm sorry, can you guys continue with that?
While you're doing that, may I ask a question? Is there, and I don't know, on this metal roof, is there a gauge difference between that house and this house?
There's different
What I'm telling
gauges
you-
of steel.
That's what I'm saying, I
Yes,
agree.
it is, and so we've got comparative on our estimates over here.
Are we picking colors?
29 gauge?
And you can
Is that
pick
what
color.
or 9" 29 gauge?
Look at the written on, that one's on, David Brown.
You don't have it. He's
Uh,
got a 6 rib metal.
6 rib, but that's what he wrote, and then, the metal is what it is on the picture. Yeah, we were talking about picture there too, the color.
Gonna vote on that, right?
Yeah, we'll vote on that.
So we're not going for tacky.
And then we hope eventually to, paint the outside of the building. I doubt that they'll hire again. Hopefully we'll have a volunteer day and we'll get out there and paint.
That's fun.
Mr. Brown did tell me, because he noticed how poorly it was out there, that he would, he'd be willing to let us use his power washer and sprayer. So we'll deal with that when that comes. Let's get the real fix first. I'm tired of walking in water bottles in the
One step at a time.
Did it tell you in the contract what gauge of steel he's gonna use?
Just said 6 rib, but if he's the one that provided this picture, then it would be 29 gauge.
6 rib is how many,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's 29 gauge if he
29.
provided the picture.
okay, motion paid bills, what he asked for, we got. So you asked for entertaining the idea of paying bills. Everyone did the bills, so we have a first on first.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. It's IE. Oh, I thought you had a Y on there.
That's an I, and I even got the S in there this time too. Good
sloppy.
Well, it was upside down.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
We could do multicolored.
Oh my gosh, rainbow.
this is a
So-
that goes with the Medicare tax paperwork.
Can I get a vote on the roof deal?
No, I think they're
We're
looking at
we're
the,
looking at the,
they're looking
we're
at
gonna
the
investigate.
estimates.
This is
Okay.
this year's budget to review.
Are you set?
For the
Yeah,
people's
you're not
never seen
fine.
it, not
No,
table,
I'm
we'll
fine.
look into it more before you
I'm fine.
vote on it. For the people out of the seen,
So,
give them the opportunity to look
You
into
vote
it
on it now,
themselves.
then nobody up there that has any questions can check out that number.
I'd table that.
Is this for me, us to keep? No, okay.
This is for the whole year?
uh-huh. Yes.
So this is what we're over on this, or?
It's the excess that's still available.
Oh, still available,
Yeah,
okay.
this is what we allow, this is what we anticipate, that we have not determined that it needs to go anywhere yet.
Okay, okay.
So for the shelter house fund, how does that work? Like, the board is over that? I think
We have a fund for the shelter house and we rent it out, money comes into it. Right now, there's a little bit extra into it because we allowed, 500 to be transferred into it last fall when we realized that we needed, soffit steel on the outside. We are still waiting for West Construction to come in and finish that. Did you talk to West Construction this week, Tuesday or Thursday, either day?
Did I do what?
West Construction?
Haven't seen them.
Okay, I'll call again.
so. Why is it taking them a year to do it? Is that what you said?
They
So-
did the shelter house last February, we saw the sweat in the summer, and, I believe the ball just got dropped. And so I called on it, this was like, Wes, when are you coming back? He had COVID,
We all should have had a coffee.
So we really don't wanna consider West anyways, if it's taken them a year to get that done.
the
Like, even
soffits,
if they were reasonable enough for us to
Yes.
afford it, we probably wouldn't want them.
well, you know,
Good.
he did get COVID, but
Yeah, but
So did I.
for a whole year?
I know.
He did
and
that
well,
for a year.
and you gotta consider too, it's part of us too.
Yes,
And we're,
yes.
it takes months to get anything done.
Mhm.
And you're like, Spear, I was like, Mr. Spear, I'm really waiting on that last estimate from you, and then he put it in the box. Well, I don't have a key to the box. That's not, he put it in the water bills.
Oh,
I'm like, we don't do water. So I had to hunt down somebody and say, where's that estimate he gave? And that's happened twice, so. The audit will be coming out next month, and so you'll be able to compare to our budget to that audit is saying, and then I'll help you pull it together, the bigger picture of things.
So this is what we spent on that in 1 year, or what we budgeted?
What we budgeted.
what we budgeted.
And does it say what we spent?
This is what we're preparing ourselves to be able
This
to.
is what we're gonna be able to spend. This is what's left.
What's,
That was my question, the very
And
first
we
thing I
hope
said.
that we don't spend it.
so,
Yeah,
is this based off of past years? Like,
Yes.
this is just a normal thing?
Yes, this is what's
yep.
anticipated.
Have you've had this?
Okay, local for you.
I I mean, he's keeping small towns open, but
Yeah.
geez Louise.
And then there's the roof thing.
I do think it'd be a good idea to find out what gauge of metal that they're using. It's on here. Is it on there? If this is the color, it's right there. Oh, okay, okay, 29 gauge, okay. But my only concern is there's no warranty on this for his work.
Let's see what it says. When I spoke with him, he said he does come back for anything. Let's see on the bottom part here.
I mean, I see where the metal has a
Oh, on the-
warranty of
on the
40
where-
years,
on the-
but I'm talking work.
That's 40-year paint warranty.
That was on the metal.
It
The paint
specifically
warranty,
says
yeah.
paint though, like if,
Yeah,
Like,
So-
I read
Yeah,
it
if it
back too.
flakes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I read.
so probably need something in writing for the,
And USDA
Warranty.
will require that. When I spoke to Mr. Brown, he did say that, he has worked with USDA on several businesses. So, he knows what it's about.
is this a copy of that one? Is that the same date?
Yes, this is from
Yeah,
the
it
original
is.
one, yeah. I'll put it on my list to call him and ask him what is his warranty so that I can include that into the letter with, that I submit to the USDA. I'd like a better statement on that. He gave me a verbal, but let's get it in writing.
Mm-hmm. That's always a good idea.
Because I think Wes did too, and it's been a year.
Yeah.
we've all dealt with our own personal things, you know,
That's fair.
on those warranties, so.
Yeah, that pool we got had a 30-year warranty, and the year after we bought it, the company went belly up, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That happens. He did say that he's been in business for 15 better years.
Probably more than that. John, when did you graduate?
I graduated in 06,
Yeah.
so,
He's probably been in business longer than that, longer than
Yeah.
15 years.
yeah.
And I'm not trying to sell him, but he's a local guy and he don't want a bad footprint in the community because he's gonna do something else besides this.
Right.
Would
Absolutely.
you go ahead and put that
Absolutely.
on the- Yes, ma'am, so I can keep that in order there. And you see how farms, the total was on your estimate page, but they have broken down each job individually.
I misspelled Belmont. Belmonte.
Belmonte.
That's funny.
And then I get a lot of the 1L things, and then on the audit.
Yeah, but do you know there is a Belmont with one L at by Chicago or
Oh,
I'm
somewhere?
sure, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
When my dad was postmaster, there was a lot of confusion with that.
There's also a Mount Carmel up by Chicago.
Yes,
Because one time, one of our truck drivers was new when I worked at Target, and instead of bringing our truck to us, they took it to the one in Chicago.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this is-
Okay. So now, sir, you can go ahead and ask their opinions on the USDA Hall grant estimates and, like I said, we've been researching this for over a year and a half, trying to pull in these estimates.
When's the last time you talked to
We
the
can give
Brown?
you,
Like how up to date are those estimates for Brown?
this is all up to
2
date.
weeks ago.
This one's dated 6/29. Some of the other ones, I think may have had the original date, but I think I initialed on the bottom of them. Where I talked to him again, and I wrote on here that this one was outdated and so forth. Linson has been since April though. I haven't got one since April. I don't expect that to change. Harms left his original date on it, but it was more recent than I can look at the email and see exact date on that.
I just meant specifically the one that everybody was leaning towards.
Oh,
I wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna go up
he's
anymore.
629, yeah. Yeah, and they're here. I mean, I've already got updated ones, so we're not changing nothing. And if they decide they're gonna change something, then we will go back to the table again.
Awesome. Did they give an estimate on how long it would be until they could get us in to do it?
All depends on the USDA grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, how long
And
it takes for it to come through.
We know that we can't even notify them that we're going to be, we got our grant or not until after September.
Well, hello.
Let there be light.
Okay,
And
is that a
as
sign?
we can say who's our first, second, and third choice on this, and that's what we will present to USDA, and then they will tell us what they'll do for us. They may say, we don't like your first choice, we'll let you go with your second, or whatever they may say. And then once we tell them our choices, I believe they actually look into it more, because everybody has to be licensed, bonded, so forth. And I saw that Linson, he's got an underwrite on him, and so I expect to know that guy is who he can use, so, what do you think, guys?
I think I wanna,
I know you have to get to your parents, don't you?
I've got to get to my mom, so whatever we're gonna do, we.
Okay. Alright, so, first choice?
I vote Brown.
Yeah. I
I'll go
second
with-
that.
Yeah.
This is where I'm really depending on you. 1, 2, 3, and Stacy, your first choice?
I'm gonna table this, sorry.
Are you
I'm not gonna,
abstaining from your vote?
never mind, I'm not gonna,
Alright.
I wanna warranty, sorry.
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Brown myself. That is a majority. Second vote, second choice I mean?
My second choice would be the Alney people because they're the lowest, and I don't think they're just gonna slip through the cracks. The AC.
But that's only the
Now,
roof.
that's just a cheap, that's just the
That
roof
and
and
not
the interior.
interior, yeah.
There's other.
Did you look at the?
No, it's roof only.
Okay, take
Yeah,
take
but
a
I mean,
look.
there's other people. I see that it's only the roof,
Uh-huh.
but there's other people that could do the interior work. Granted, it wouldn't go under the grant, but we could probably get it for cheaper.
15.6, but it is TPO roof too.
It's not a metal roof.
No, it's not a metal.
The
That's why it's so
membrane roof.
cheap.
Gotcha.
So the 15.6 isn't bad for the TPO. It's higher than Linson's TPO. If you look at the original,
Is that what we have now?
I think that's what they call it.
Basically, we have a
Yeah.
rubber roof.
Okay, so your first choice on the metal, what was the color, guys? If you had to,
I don't think we're there yet.
okay.
But white's the most energy efficient. I think.
White's the most energy efficient.
And
It won't
they
be white though. It won't be white for long.
Well, they have an off-white also.
Yeah.
Kind of like an ivory color. So something light would be my vote.
And that can be settled after the USDA grant approves that.
Right.
Okay?
So before you send that for the grant,
Uh-huh.
we'll get the warranty in writing.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'll be going to tomorrow, get that from him, and then I will submit it to Abby.
Okay, I just want to make myself clear on that. Okay. All right.
And what do you know about Nelson's? Are they, or where are they at?
They're
Yeah,
local,
Mount
they're Mount Carmel. They're mostly like they do roofing and gutter system, and they work with Bureau Glass, that's their main thing they do. He did give me an estimate for a metal, because that's the way we believe it.
Actually, one of them does the roofing, the brother does the
Right.
roofing stuff.
Okay. But it's all the same company.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, but I don't like TPO roofs, period. I just don't think they're ever gonna last as long as a metal or a shingle edged. Yep. Yeah, I just don't think they're ever gonna not leak.
My second choice would be Harms. They are over 25, so we would have to pay out of pocket about $2,000. And Wilson would be my third choice. Your third choice would be Harms. We make this decision this evening, from what I understand from Abby. We pretty much have what we think we want, then we can change our minds as we get closer to contracting who's gonna do the job. They look all three over and we decide, we recently saw something that we didn't like that someone did, then we be considered for this contract. She said it's not concrete until they sign the check. When I first started working on submitting to her, I said, I think we're leaning toward West, because West was a higher price to be more realistic of what we were looking at. So, do those have any opinions for second or third? So, on my letter, I will say that we're leaning toward Brown, and we don't have a second and third choice at this time. They will look at all of the bids and estimates that we've submitted and tell us what they think is best also. And then we'll bring it back to the maybe by that time, Stacy will feel better about it.
A warranty.
Well,
Yeah.
and
I'm sure that USDA will have to have
They will.
a warranty. But until then, I want a written warranty on that paper. Yeah. I do agree with you.
Yes,
On
that's all
the,
right. I wrote myself a note, so I'll know. I did.
That's pretty much a
anything
given.
can go wrong on the side there. Just saying.
I do know that Mr. Brown noticed that just on the side here, he'd be taking that off. There's a little bit of, I don't know what that barrier is, but he'd be removing that and replacing it also. The sides of the building, and then that small overhang on the front, he mentioned also. Okay, that's that. That's right. So they told us their opinion on that, and I'll get a letter off tomorrow or the next day. I believe that Abby's actually on vacation tomorrow, so I know that I will get it in there. That's what we need. That's what we need.
New business. Budget.
I will make a motion to pass the budget. I have looked over it and made corrections on it, found the errors, reviewed it in depth, and brought it back to the attention. The budget was prepared by Christina with David Charlotte and Lorraine and Brett Shepherd, which Fred is our old one, not treasurer, but treasurer assistant. Accountant, yeah, where Lorraine is, so is the new.
Can I see that again, please?
Sure can.
Limit.
Yeah. That's what I want to do with that. Unless you've got a decimal point.
Terry,
See that?
Say it again though.
I tell you.
And that was the page that I made her make corrections on, so I'm not surprised.
It's not. I made it in.
You did.
Had a long day.
And I reviewed this to the numbers that we saw last year that was set in the same way.
Yeah, I'm good.
And this, so you go first, you're looking to second. Donna?
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Mayor, on new business, can we go down to the general fund meeting maturity because I'm afraid that she has an appointment this evening. And that does require a vote. We have
You have enough, Linda, if I have to leave for 40 days.
You may keep going there.
Go ahead.